Good evening from the Pompey Observatory. We're going to try to get the comet and that's going to be oh boy, start orbit. Manual. It's 12 hours. $19. And 31 seconds. Confirm. Declination 2 degrees. Four minutes. 26 seconds. Confirm. Let's go. Okay. Let's see if we're going to find it. Shutter 10 seconds. Infrared cut. Okay. In the meantime, let's go see if Seestar wants to play. I have no idea what Seestar is doing. Okay, we have a comet. We have a comet. Let me get, see if we can get Seestar on it as well. We have the anti-dew on, so let's go to the Sky Atlas. Let's start with Polaris. With a lot of luck, we should see it coming up here. International Space Station passes in 20 minutes. I'm going to get ready for that in the meantime while we capture the comet. Desktop. Uh-oh. Okay, we have Polaris there. Comet. There it is. Well, let's see if it's going to find it. Good evening, Matthew. We're looking at Comet 2023 A3 Tsuchinchan Atlas. DWARF has found it. There it is. I'm going to try to see if Seestar will find it. And we have an International Space Station passing very, very high today. In about 20 minutes, I'm trying to get ready for. I think it's about 11 magnitude of, well, it thinks it's found it. Let's see if it did. Come on. Okay, Seestar is going to go through the motions. In the meantime, we're going to try to telescope setup, connect. We are connected. We're going to try to rendezvous at 21:57:11. And let's see if we can send the scope there. I wonder if we're seeing a tail or a trail at this point. We'll see from if Seestar gets it or not. All right. Oh no, my stars are very out of focus. Okay, let's get them focused quickly. Tools, focus assistant. Okay, focusing on stars. Reset. And we're going to go out by 100. And then go back in. Yeah, now we are seeing the tail on Seestar. I have high hopes for the International Space Station passage this evening. I promised Bill that I will get him the Comet this evening, and I have it on 2 different scopes. Good evening, Bill. There's your Comet. I did not want to take any chance on it not being seen by one telescope, so I put 2. And sure enough, we have it. In the meantime, I'm frantically trying to focus the big scope because I have high hopes for tonight's International Space Station pass. All right, we are focused. And let's see if we can plate solve. It did. Okay. Sorry about that. Seestar is on the left. And DWARF is on the right. Then I have 12 minutes to get ready for the International Space Station. Behind the scenes. So we were able to plate solve successfully. We have the scope in position. Now it's just a matter of Bill, what I'm trying to do tonight is see if I can relate exposure time with altitude, since we have established with certainty that the higher the altitude of the International Space Station, the closer it is to us. This one will pass at altitude 55 degrees. So I'm going to try to go again with 1/16,000. Hello, Louis. By the way, this is mostly a tail, not a trail. Minor semantic issue. Now this is where I make my excuses ahead of time. Usually I look at Stellarium Web, Stellarium App, Starry Night, and Astrospheric, and they all always agree with the location of the International Space Station. Tonight they do not. I have 4 different estimates as to where it will be, when it will be in 10 minutes. So I'm going to go with the Starry Night. It has served me well in the past. The folks at NASA boost the altitude of the International Space Station on a regular basis because of the drag, and sometimes for some reason not all the apps update. Oh, last night we ended up with 40-ish. Messier ended up grabbing 3 hoist targets just to justify the night. Eight minutes to the ISS. I have the dwarf sitting high on a perch today, so it is let's see, 12 feet higher than the Seestar, so it should be able to pick up the moon when it rises. Seven minutes. As soon as we're close to the passage of the International Space Station, I will switch to that screen. I want to tell Jacob that I saw him on TV, actually, on Kai's latest video on the Seestar being managed from Stellarium. Matthew, when are we going to get together for a cup of coffee at the mall, the Pompey Mall? Oh yeah, that's right. Darlene is open again. Yeah, Hilltop will do. Whichever. You're the one who's gainfully employed. So possibly any afternoon or early evening after you're done with work. I think we're equal distance to Hilltop. Four minutes. I think that Comet is magnitude 11 or thereabouts. Okay. Yeah, ice cream after dinner any evening works for me. If anybody else from Kentucky or Wisconsin or Washington State wishes to join us for ice cream, please do. Three minutes to the International Space Station. We should capture it at 21:57:11 seconds. So I will start my capture about 20 seconds prior to that, so 21:56:50. Alright, time to switch. We'll be back to the Comet. Haha. Alright, exposure. I'm going to try 16,000, 1/16,000. We'll start the capture in 1 minute. Send it my way, Matthew, will you? Okay, we'll start the capture in about 30 seconds and we're going to go for a full minute. I'm going to blink and start capturing. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, come on. No ISS tonight. Okay. Epic fail. No. Yeah, I can see it from my window. Gonna go see if I can intersect it again. No joy. No joy tonight. I'll go back and examine the frames and see if it's just too dark with 1/16. Okay. Back to the comet. I will check, Bill. Usually when stellarium, astrospheric, and starry night give me three different, totally different by about a degree arc degree off from each other, it does not give me much confidence that any of them knows what they're talking about. I will still put these through pip just in case it is there and we did not see it. Let's see what we have for the next pass. Yeah, I cannot see it. It is way to the southwest. Night wave, this is C2023 A3 Tsuchinchan Atlas. We have a couple of satellites streaming across. Yeah, Pip did not find any, so it's not there. In the meantime, this is what M13 looks like. Maybe, I don't know. So these are the 3 telescopes that are running right now. Okay, Bill, what do you want to see next? We have a little while before the moon comes up, so I am game for anything that you guys want to see. Pick a target, pick a scope, and we can go after it. We can do a quick comparison by sending everybody to M13 for a minute. Okay, dwarf. See, this is the extent of our view of the comet. It's gone behind the trees now. So let's go to target. That's one thing about the dwarf that nobody can match. It moves extremely fast. Exposure, shutter, 10 seconds. Infrared, cut. We did say cut, not pass. Huh? All right. Hi, Zena. Wilbur, you better come up with some target ideas for us before the moon comes up. Right now we're doing M13 on 3 telescopes. Let me look at 5416 quickly. $54.16 is doable. We'll put Seestar, let's see who would go there. It's at 162 degrees. So the big guy could not go there. It's going to be Seestar. (4402). (4402) is out of reach here. Okay, we're going to go to 5416, should be able to do it. Yeah, 4402 is out of reach right now. Randy, do you want the IR pass or block for the 5416? Paluz, good to hear that. I'm not surprised. These are your 7 stars. Sorry, they are not stars, they are galaxies. This should be an interesting picture. Okay. Why can't I see the Seestar? I have a feeling that Seestar dropped the connection. Oh. Okay. We'll let it capture a bit more. There is Seestar. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'm still taking requests. I have 2 telescopes not doing anything useful. Seestar is up there. You're welcome, Randy. I only had 2 objectives tonight and I hit one of them, so I wanted to do the Comet and the International Space Station. We got the Comet. I'm going to take a quick look at Vega. M44, where is M44 tonight? No joy. It's west. Gonna see if we got Vega. Yeah, there is Vega. Center it, please. Interesting, we are seeing the star spikes. Alright. Not much else with Vega. In that case, I don't know what hole any cluster is. NGC 6811. It's 15 minutes, so it's going to be just a little bit on the big side. Let's go for it. The field of view of the big scope is 14 minutes. I don't plan to be here too long, Zena. I plan to go to bed tonight, not tomorrow this time. What is the name of our target? $68.11. Yeah, southwest is no good because before the mountain I have a big house. The scope is sitting ground level and the house is behind it, so my west is totally gone. Dwarf is not doing too bad with M13. Randy, we done with the asterism at this point? As you may notice, none of my scopes is on power tonight. They're all on battery, so that will dictate how long we can stay on. Thanks Wilbur. Yeah, these will probably be sitting for a lot longer than a couple of years. But I found an AutoStar 2 that was still in its original plastic bag. Yeah, I do. I'm using the AutoStar 2 for the 16-inch mead for the LX200. Alright, this would make for a good target probably. Yes, let's go for it. There comes Seestar. Seestar is looking at the Crescent Nebula at this point. I don't know how well DWARF is going to do with the elephant's trunk. I don't know if it has IC3096 or not. It does. It found it. Let's make sure filter is on. 10. Go. Okay, we need to push it a bit up. This is the fireworks galaxy on the big scope. The elephant's trunk on the dwarf, and the Crescent Nebula on the Seestar. Wilbur, before you came on, we went through and painfully refocused the 11-inch, so it should be focused. And I'm pleasantly surprised that the stars are almost round. They're not eggs anymore. I'm curious to see if DWARF is going to show us the elephant's trunk nebula. Seestar is doing well already with the crescent. Wilbur, I learned that if I stand far enough from the monitor, anything looks good. The far enough being the end of the driveway or the end of the street. Girl watching was my initiation into making my own telescopes when I was a teenager. Unfortunately, she always appeared upside down. And didn't matter how much I rotated the telescope.
Fireworks galaxy is 9.6 magnitude. We should be seeing something soon. New York Raider fan, if you're still on, the DWARF 3 promises a dual band filter which will allow us to see nebula. DWARF 2 has been not so good when it came to showing nebulosity. Side by side, actually we can send it to the Crescent Nebula, but it's not going to make any difference. I sent it to a much bigger nebula, the Elephant's Trunk, and I don't see any nebulosity, nothing red yet. So I'm hoping that DWARF 3 will allow us to see nebula that DWARF 2 does not. Yeah, I did a short video, actually 15 minutes, it's long, comparing the specs of the DWARF 3 to the Seestar. And their claim on the dual band filter, they claim that they put in a better filter than Seestar does in terms of the narrow band. It's a narrower band.
I'm waiting to see what the 30th will bring, what Thursday will bring us. They promised to put a Plan My Night feature in it so you can program a sequence of targets that will go after. They're talking about a more refined user interface. And they're talking also about not supporting DWARF 2 much longer. Moon's up. Really? I don't know where it says the moon. No, they still have an external solar filter. They have a very nice looking external filter holder, much nicer than the current one. It looks space age. Well, if DWARF can find it, I do have a good clear view of the moon. I can see it. So DWARF does not want to go to the moon. It says tracking the moon. It's not tracking the moon. There is no moon. I'm going to try to find a star close enough to the moon and send it there, see if that works. M19 should be close enough. No, DWARF is on the second floor today. Seestar is on the ground floor. I am on the third floor. Okay, there is the moon. rumor has it, if we go astro mode with the moon, we can stack the moon. Doesn't want to stack, doesn't like my parameters. Okay. Yeah. We still have a little bit of a tree in the moon in the way. That is their plan, Bill, for the DWARF 3. The DWARF people plan to have a live YouTube presentation at 11 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. The east view, from here I can see things at as low as 1 degree above the horizon. So I don't complain much about the west side. Yeah, when the dogs are sleeping, I can put the dwarf on the kitchen deck, so that otherwise it'll be shaking like crazy if they're awake. Not bad. Wilbur, I never used the dwarf tripod. The only time I use it is for equatorial mounting the dwarf. That tripod, if I put the dwarf on it and lean it through the crack, then it gives me exactly 43 degrees, which is what I need. But otherwise, I do not use the dwarf tripod at all. I set the dwarf anywhere and it's happy. Seestar, I'm still using the original. Well, the town of Pompey came up with a crazy idea to put a street light at the corner right outside my house. There was almost a mutiny because every single one of the neighbors went to town hall and said, "No way." So right now the closest street light to me is a quarter-mile away with lots of trees between us and them. Louis, I heard somewhere that if you talk to your town or city, they will block the street light. They'll block one side of the street light that's coming towards you, so the street light will still be there, but not shining directly into wherever you are. Wow. The fireworks galaxy is not happy. We're not getting anything useful out of it. So we're going to try to do on the big guy what the Seestar is doing. Good evening, Mike. How is New Jersey today? Crescent Nebula is going to be too big for the C11, but it'll be an interesting exercise to see if we can, how much nebulosity we'll see considering that I don't have a filter on it. Mike, I did not. It was an epic fail. For some reason, Starry Night, Stellarium, and Astrospheric did not agree on where it was gonna be when. So I went with Starry Night and probably made the wrong choice. Missed it this time. We have the ISS with us for another few years. Don't know, but let's see if we can see it. Right now it is under the Earth, on the other side of the Earth. SN 1987A. It says magnitude 4.8, so it should be very much within the reach of the Seestar. Not visible tonight. When will it be visible? It's not going to be visible for us in the northern hemisphere this year. Don't know where it went. And something just flew across the moon. I don't know what birds are awake this time of night. This is the second bird flying in front of the moon. We have an owl nearby that has been driving the dogs crazy. There is something else that just shot in front of the moon. I wonder if the moon is at a unique tilt tonight, that we are seeing the crater at around 2 o'clock. Has anyone seen the blue racquetball nebula before? Yes, that is correct. Wilbur, let me show you a quick trick. When you connect multiple tablets, actually connect them one at a time initially, and you can look up the unique unique port number, and then when you call them, that's how you call them. I'll show you in 1 second. Let me get going to I'm gonna stop the live stack. When I go to the blue racket ball, I'll be right back to show you how I did it. It is 6572. Wilbur, the screen copy allows you to specify the serial number of the tablet. So I can put multiple serial numbers in there. Once you find out the serial number of each tablet, that's how you tackle them. I have done 3 at the same time without issue. Not much to see in this blue racket ball. Now that is a tree flying in front of the moon. Okay, I want to show you something that I may not have shown you before, and that is running the DWARF app natively on Windows. Hi Jacob, I saw you on TV today. You were in the top right corner of Kai's video. Alright, stand by 1 second. Windows capture. Doesn't want to do it, so we're going to go display capture. Okay, excuse the chaos here, but this is what I'm trying to show. Why can't I get rid of the others? Okay, this is, for some reason, it's sneaking between the two. But this is the Windows subsystem for Android. and as you can tell, I have the app running on a tablet in the bottom right corner, and this is the Windows system for Android that is running DWARF natively. So for all intents and purposes, I can get rid of the tablet and just display DWARF on Windows. Okay, close, done. Now we go back to some semblance of order here. I don't know what you mean by clues, but yeah, I did the work. You start by installing Windows subsystem for Android, and once you have that installed and working, there's a trick. You have to get the Amazon what you call it, Play Store. The Amazon Store app has to be installed. Once you have the Amazon Store app installed, then download the APK from DWARF Lab and just install it there. The Amazon App Store allows you to open and install any APK. I was able to install Seestar, but Seestar refuses to go past insisting on a Bluetooth, and Microsoft has pledged that they will never provide Bluetooth support through their Windows subsystem. I think we're done with the moon for now. We were talking about that blue racket. There's nothing to it. Unable to get it to show us anything. That's supposed to be it. Yeah, for some reason it Windows subsystem for Android insists on having the Amazon Store to allow you to install APKs directly. Right, we're back on the market for something to do. Dumbbell Nebula would be good for DWARF again, to see whether it's going to get any of it given the nebulosity function. Astro. So the dwarf is down to 15% battery. It's gonna die on us soon. Yeah, the moon is making its presence felt. We no longer have dark skies, we have purple skies. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid this is going to be the extent of tonight's session. The plan was to give Bill a peek at C2023 A3 Tsuchinchan Atlas, which we did. On Tuesday, I will be back in Oswego working on the 16-inch scope. I installed the guide scope on top of it. As soon as we get that going, I promise you a good session from there to see what a 16-inch telescope with a 21 megapixel camera can do. That should be fun, so stay tuned. In the meantime, so long from Pompey. The ASI183MC